All right, question number 12. We are given two functions f and g, and for part A, we are asked to find the range of the function f, and the function f has a domain that only goes from 0 to 5. Now, to find the range of a function, you really do need to sketch the graph, and we'll first sketch the graph. We'll just ignore the domain 0 to 5. We'll worry about that after we have actually sketched the graph. Now, given that this is a quadratic, what would help you to sketch it is to know where the graph crosses the x-axis and where the minimum point on this graph is. Right? Now, to find where the graph crosses the x-axis, we just need to solve x squared minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now, this can be factorized quite easily, but I'm just going to do this on the calculator. So degree, polynomial degree 2. So we'll put the values in. X is equal, a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 2, and c is equal to minus 3. Right? So this gives us one of the solutions is x equals 3, and the other one is x equals minus 1. So x is equal to 3 or x is equal to minus 1. Right? So we know that this is going to give us a quadratic curve that crosses the x-axis at minus 1 and plus 3. Now, of course, if you had the graphical calculator, you could just draw the graph there, but I'm doing this assuming you don't have a graphical calculator. Right. Now, to find the vertex, to find the minimum point, so one way to do it is to complete the square on this. But even if you only have this calculator, once you get your first two solutions, if you press equals again, it just shows you the coordinates of the minimum point. So it says the minimum point is at x is equal to 1. And if you press equals again, it shows the minimum value of y, which is at minus 4. So I just use the arrow keys to go up again. So it's at x equals 1 and y is equal to minus 4. So that tells me that the coordinates of the vertex is 1, minus 4. Now, to get this without using that calculator function, you'd have to complete the square. So if you completed the square on this function here, what you would have is x minus 1 squared minus 4. And that would also tell you that the vertex is at 1, minus 4. So if we make a sketch of this, there should be a curve that is, let's say, something like this, where the coordinate of the vertex is at this point here at 1, minus 4, and it crosses the x-axis at 3 and at minus 1. Now, obviously, in this case, what we want to do is to draw this curve for just this domain between 0 and 5. So which means the part of the curve that I actually need here, I don't want anything where x is less than 0. So my curve is going to start at this point here. So when x equals 0, just from this, we can see that y would be minus 3. So the y-intercept is minus 3. We'd have all of this part of the curve. Let me do that in red. So we'd have all of this part of the curve, and it would keep going until we get to x is equal to 5. So let's say x equals 5 is over here. So at this point, you will need to work out the y coordinate when x is equal to 5. So I'm just going to get rid of this green bit here. Right? So this is what the curve would look like. The minimum y value it gets to is minus 4. The maximum y value you work out just by putting x is equal to 5. So if you put x equals 5 into this, so 5 squared minus 2 times 5 minus 3 gives you 12. So what that means is the range of this function. So let's say therefore the range is equal to, so the range of this function is going to be that f of x, the largest y value you get on the curve is 12. So this has to be less than or equal to 12. The smallest y value is going to be minus 4. So that is at its vertex. So that's what the range of this f is going to be. On part B, we are asked to find the value of a, given that g f of 1 is equal to 6. So in this case, the value of a comes from this function here. So if you're asked to find g f of 1, what you would normally do in that case is we first need to find what f of 1 is, take that answer, and then plug it into g. So in this case, we first need to find what f1 is. So f of 1 is going to be the value of this function when x is equal to 1. So you could use a calculator and plug the numbers in. X equals 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 3. But of course, we already found that here. We know that when x is equal to 1, y is equal to minus 4. So we don't really need to do any working for that. Just from part A, we can write down that f of 1 is equal to minus 4. So we're going to take that answer. So this bit here is equal to minus 4. We're going to substitute that into function g and then make that equal to 6. So I'm then going to say that g of minus 4 is equal to 6. Now g of minus 4 is going to be whatever this evaluates to when x is minus 4. So this is going to be a times minus 4 squared plus 2 is equal to 6. Okay, we then need to solve this equation, minus 4 squared, so that's 16a. I'll subtract the 2 to give me 4 here. And then just dividing by 16, we just get a is equal to 4 over 16, which simplifies to 1 over 4.